understand you're a co-producer on KCRW's Bookworm?
I am, that's correct.
Okay. So having worked behind the scenes of the show, what have you noticed about building and sustaining an audience that you've learned through Bookworm? Because an audience can be a very fickle thing, it can be a very tricky thing. So what have you seen that's worked, and what is working as the producer on the show taught you?
Well, Bookworm's producer-host is Michael Silverblatt, and what I've learned from Michael is that maintaining a focused integrity will bring an audience, and it will bring the audience that you want. If you build it, they will come, but you have to build it, and you have to keep it intact. And that's what Michael has done for nearly 25 years. And you know, when Michael became a friend, 20 years ago, I was somewhat lost in the wild of Hollywood development. I'd studied literature at Yale. I was always a serious reader, but that world I had left it. I was, you know, in the slave camps of Hollywood, which is what I call the world of development. And Michael and I became friends. He asked me to work on the show, and I returned to the world of literature again. And that has steadied me in all areas of my professional life.
Why do you think it was that literature felt maybe safer or more to who you really are rather than the film business? What was it about it that...
Well, I actually feel very comfortable in the film business, but I had not been able to turn it to my ends. And I always felt that my work perhaps was stillborn, was neither fish nor fowl. It was neither literary fiction nor mass communication Hollywood product. And I think that was a confusion that I was not even aware of.
Going back to, you were saying with building an audience, if they see that integrity that's there, they will stick with it. It seems like in the beginning, with anything in Hollywood, there's always this new period where people get excited about it. And then this sort of thing happens where a glass ceiling occurs. And whether it's someone becomes too popular for their own good, or it just gets harder to kind of reach beyond these hurdles that were once given when someone was newer in the business. But obviously you've seen that Michael stuck it out. So what have you learned about getting through sort of those glass ceilings and those dips, or whatever you want to call them, that I'm sure occur in everyone's career?
I think all of those glass ceilings are ultimately self-imposed. Always. That the real restrictions that I face are within me. Always. And that's why ultimately I really don't feel restricted by ageism. I simply don't. I'm sure it's true. I'm sure it can restrict and does restrict many, many people, but I believe that the real obstacles are always within. Always.